We're back here at the NRA National Firearms Museum here at NRA headquarters in Fairfax, Virginia. I'm here with Phil Schreier. He is senior curator at the NRA Museums. And Phil, this is week 4 of a 5-week series of Curator's Corner here on Sportsman Channel, and we're having folks watching to guess the theme. So if you're playing along at home, you haven't figured it out yet, or if you thought you figured it out, Phil, get ready to give him the twist. Here we go. Here's the plot twist.
Well, they're not guns of World War I and World War II anymore.
No, they're not.
We've switched it up a little bit. We jump back 100 years or more. This actually is a gun that was very popular throughout the 18th century, the 1700s. It's a British all metal, what we call a black watch Scottish pistol. And it's pretty neat because normally this would be made out of wood.
Yeah, that is pretty
And here
different.
it's not. It's a beautiful metal. A lot of them sterling silver. You've got a very nice, elaborately engraved, faceted barrel. Beautiful little designs and flourishes on the hammer of the gun. It's a great little, no trigger guard.
I was going to say that's some trigger on there too.
Yeah, nice little ball trigger. This is called a ram's head buttstock because it looks like, you know, the horns on a ram. And the neat thing is here we've got this piece detaches and it's a frizzen prick. You can clean out the gun with it.
That's very cool.
Yeah, so it's
a very fancy, ornate gun.
Yeah.
So who would be, back in the day, what would be the kind of person who would own a firearm like this? Was it I know functioning, but would something you use every day? Was it a showpiece? What was it?
Well, you see that there on this side there's a belt hook. You can slide this over your belt, kind of. Doesn't need a holster. The most famous user of a pair of guns like this was Major John Pitcairn. We know his father, a famous explorer named Pitcairn Island out in the Pacific. But his son, John Pitcairn, is best known for being the British officer on the 19th of April in 1775 that ordered Captain John Parker at Lexington Green to throw down his arms. And Parker said, "Don't shoot until fired upon, but if they mean to have a war, let it begin here." And Pitcairn, leading those 300 British regulars that morning, had a brace of these guns. He would not survive the war. He survived the day, but not the war. In fact, he died pretty soon thereafter, still around Boston. But his pair of pistols very similar to this. And
so it was very functional then.
Very functional, yeah. And he had a pair of them. So they looked good and they functioned very well.
Wow, that's neat. And it is really just some great looking engraving there on both on the barrel, on the stock, on everything. It's just,
yeah, it's got a little flared muzzle to it, and unlike next week's pistol, this has a ramrod, to help load the gun, a smoothbore, but pretty much at close quarter. That's going to be what you're going to use anyway.
Beautiful. So how do we come and see that thing? Phil, it's something you've got to see. I'm lucky I get to sit here up close. You can see it up close a couple ways. You can see it here or online. So how can we do that?
Well, you can come by and see it here on display in our little Williamsburg-style Reservoir Gallery here at the National Firearms Museum. We're open 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5. We're located right off Interstate 66 in Fairfax, Virginia, at the intersection of Route 50. There's free parking, free admission. If you can't visit us off the interstate, visit us on the internet 24/7 at nramuseums.com, and come by and see us in Southwest Missouri at the NRA's National Sporting Arms Museum at Bass Pro headquarters.
Awesome. Great stuff, Phil. One more segment, all right? Are we right? That's the last one.
Last one.
Then after the next segment, we'll reveal what our theme was.
The big reveal.
The big reveal is coming up next week on Curator's Corner here on Sportsman Channel. Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, John.